Hey y'all, welcome back for a moment of peace. I've got three things today. I've got a little turning tip, I've got a picture from one of my subscribers, and I want to respond to a question from one of my subscribers. First, the turning tip. Here's just a quick tip I want to show you. I make little birdhouse ornaments among other things, and one of the things you turn is this perch with a little decorative feature, much nicer and elegant than a toothpick. So how do you turn those? You get an exotic hardwood. Let me just show you a quick tip. Cut you a long, thin piece, preferably of an exotic wood. This is Macassar ebony, and you can extend it inside your, as long as you make it less than about 3/8 of an inch, all the way into your headstock. Pull it out as you need it, tighten it, and turn it. Even if you have a big chuck, the chuck jaws or the chuck glides will hold that wood. Here's a question from one of my subscribers, Daryl Descaruez. How do I sign my work? Well, Daryl, that's a good question. You've got a long name. Suggestion might be to use your first initial if you don't want to write it all out. Sometimes I write my entire name out, Michael Peace. Sometimes, most of the time, I shorten it to Mike Peace. Sometimes I put the date on it, but usually I leave the date, the year off. I know some people put a code so they can always keep a record without showing the date, because they feel like in some venues, if they're selling their work, people see a prior year date and they think it's old work, and they don't want to put it in their gallery, or they don't want to sell it. I like to put a date on it, especially for things I give away. If I think I'm going to sell it in the future, maybe I wouldn't put a date on it. If it's going to go to a charity, I would typically put a date on it, because I think it shows when you did the work, and that might be important one of these days. I usually use wood burner like this with a different pen. I use a very small ball tip pen to write my name. I generally put the species on the wood, because I think a lot of times people want to know what the species of the wood is. On a few items, such as an ornament, I may just put my initials on an edge somewhere, very inconspicuous, because there's not room to put your full name on an ornament. Here's a close-up of some of my signatures. Here's an example where I have my short name and the name of the species. Here's a difficult one on a box like this. Where do you put your name? And sometimes, I don't know if you can see that, I'll put the name on the inside. Here's a fairly recent one I did last year that has my full name, Michael Peace, and the species and the year. This will wind up being a gift, so I'm not concerned about the date. But then they can look at it and see years from then and know when it was made. And here's a picture shared by subscriber Jim Robb from Scotland, who's inspired by one of my recent videos and sent these in. Congratulations, Jim, on your new lathe, and keep up the good work.